Okay, what's up, guys? So it has been a while since I reacted to What Culture Wrestling, and yeah, I don't know. It wasn't so much as like I didn't find a video that was interesting. I'll see a video and then forget to pull it up. But yeah, I was just like, no, I'm gonna have to react to them today. I'm gonna have to see what they posted and stuff. So they posted a video called 10 Wrestling Road Stories You Won't Believe. Yeah, I would imagine man. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, was there a crazy road story I heard with the WWE? I know there was maybe an on the road story. I think there was the one where Big Show was at a bar, and while they were like heading to their next place that they were gonna be at, and he got into an argument and then flipped the Jeep over it, and they ended up using that as as a thing for wrestling and stuff. But yeah, there was like the guy, I think, sucker punched him or slapped him or something, then took off running, and then Big Show was like right there behind him and then pushed this Jeep over and stuff. So if people were all like, oh, that's where that came from, yeah, that's where that came from and things. But yeah, for the most part, I don't know. Let's see what they're gonna be talking about. Make sure you guys go subscribe to What Culture Wrestling for more videos like this. And that being said, let's get into this video.
Wrestlers spend so much time on the road that it's inevitable some out-of-this-world road stories are going to exist. We know about loads of these too, as performers have let them spill throughout the years, but that doesn't make them any less than compelling. What the talent does away from the squared circle can often be more interesting.
Dang, wrestlers getting guns pulled on them?
Most of these tales are probably not suitable for human consumption, but thankfully the ones that do float through to our ears can be told, and we can question once more, what in the hell pro wrestling even is.
Imagine cause it's after a wrestling show, you go to the bar and you still see these guys in costume at the bar drinking and just relaxing and stuff. I would be so confused, like y'all dressed like this, even I would imagine you guys are in some workout gear or something, y'all just just wearing something to just loosen up and things. Y'all even wear this? I don't know. I don't want to see freaking The Miz is still in his tights and stuff. I can't. Nah, man. Listen. There's a JCPenney's right up the street. Go get you some sweats, cause I know you're cold. You're off up in Seattle right now, during this month and it's 50 degrees. I'm yeah, I understand. You've been jumping around, getting swung all over the place. I'm nah, fam. I know you have to be cold. So
from what culture in
that jacket, that jacket he wears, I know they don't cover up all your body. So
wrestling road stories you won't believe. Number 10, Fear the Wrath of Ming. Often referred to as the toughest guy in pro wrestling history, the real name Tonga Fafita never took any prisoners. When he got mad, you better watch out. Possessing one hell of a convincing wild man gimmick, the trick was that it wasn't much of a gimmick. Meng was just one dangerous and there's loads of evidence that nods to this. For example, according to Kevin Sullivan, he and Meng once got into a bar fight after locals racially insulted his traveling partner. Along with the usual scuffles, Meng also bit through one of the guy's shirts like a wolf and took a chunk out of his back. Another time, he was arrested during a bar fight in St. Louis and got pepper sprayed by the police as well as handcuffed.
Wow.
Meng didn't like this though, so after glaring at the officers, he snapped off the cuffs and went back to fighting. There's also stories of him lifting people up with one hand, literally pulling people's teeth out of their mouths, and even tearing out eyeballs if he was mad enough, and most of these tales are, according to the man himself, 100% true. He even bit a dude's nose off once. Safe to say, you don't want to mess with Meng, you'd probably die or be left without your facial features.
Dang, that is crazy. I mean, dang, that guy. Who was that one? I remember there was one video that I wanted to react to, but they didn't allow me to post it because it was an actual YouTube video. It wasn't on some other video website. But I remember somebody sent me a video of this one wrestler. I don't think he might have got to wrestle in the WWE, but probably for a short period of time. But he was doing indie shows and stuff, or maybe some main shows too. I don't know. But anyways, he was doing some shows. This guy, he said he pulled the knife out and stabbed a wrestler. He said he was doing cocaine in the back. I think there was one time he said he jumped off and cracked his skull, and he said mucus was coming. There are so many crazy things that this guy did. I don't know, it was some black wrestler. Can't think of his name, but dude was crazy. He was seriously insane and things. I'm that's right up, like, imagine if them two got into it, and then that's World Wrestling 3, like, or 1, like, I don't know what to call it, just something, but that had just been an all-out war.
9, Stone Cold William Regal and Mick Foley visit a gay beach. Back in 1993, WCW wrestlers Mick Foley, William Regal, and Steve Austin were sharing a room in Florida. With a few hours to kill until their show started, they decided to head down.
That's Stone Cold? Dang, it's like, nah, that can't be. But it's like, it could be. But I'm like, nah, I just don't really see him with hair. Like, it's rare when I see him with hair. But I'm like, I guess so. Maybe. I can, like, kind of see a hint of it, but
onto their local beach. Foley went body surfing and disappeared out into the sea, leaving Austin and Regal to work on their tans. After a while, Foley looked back in the direction of the beach and saw that both of his friends had abandoned him. As he scanned the area, he saw them hurrying across the street. Perplexed, Foley finished his swim and returned to the sand. Looking around in an attempt to see what was going on, Mick observed what he described as a distinct lack of females. On closer inspection, the beach was full of barely dressed young men, many of whom were, to quote Foley, getting very close to each other. Realizing that he was definitely on a beach not meant for him, Foley pegged it back to the hotel where Austin, who had observed Foley's distressed amusement, laughed in his face. Number 8, Andre Lipper.
Dang. Yeah, that would be... That kind of reminds me of that, what was that TV? Oh, My Wife and Kids, and they had the son on there. He became friends with some, like, gay guy on there. And I was like, yeah, that would be, like, that'd just be, like, just awkward. Like, oh, man, I just can't relate to you guys, because I don't like man boobs. I like female boobs. Like, it's... Like, I know there's gonna probably that's the people gonna find that offensive and things, but I'm like, that's just me. Like, I'm sorry, I don't swing that way. I just, nah, like, I would have left. Like, I think, yeah, as soon as, it wouldn't even been like a funny situation. Like, dang, we really just got like, nah, man, like, nah, I can't, like, no, I don't want to be here. Like, that's just, I think, yeah, at that point, I probably would have never visited any beaches. Unless it was like a beaches for women, then I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Then I'd just be chilling the cuts there. But I'm like, for the most part, yeah, if it's that's something like that, I'm like, yeah, it's do what they did, run. But
the car.
Andre lifts the car, dang.
Tall, Andre the Giant left an impression on the pro wrestling world. He could drink 150 beers or an entire crate of wine in one sitting, and he could eat up to 12 large steaks or even 15 whole lobsters. The original giant of the industry was well known for being a passive, almost gentle type of guy, and although he had his moods, he wasn't an especially violent man. However, when angered, Andre was nothing short of a force of nature. Why anyone would want to test their luck against him is quite frankly baffling, but from time to time, people, or morons,
I wouldn't fight him.
did just that. On one such occasion,
unless that man mid, because at first he would have to chase me. Then it was just like, as soon as he falls down, then that's when I gotta go for a weapon, just like crack it once over him, and then just proceed on running.
Men decided to prove themselves by starting a fight with the giant. Once Andre finally reacted to their provocation, the bullies ran away, but the riled up former champ wasn't about to let it end there. These attackers decided to hide in their car, believing themselves to be safe from his rage. However, Andre responded by literally picking the vehicle up and turning it completely over, which probably ruined their day in a major way. Should have just left him be.
I wonder what kind of car was it.
Yeah,
like, ooh, wow, really? But yeah, I can't wait to hear that. But yeah, it's like, it's as big as you are. Like, that's, come on. It's just like, I feel like any wrestler that's like Andre or Big Show or like any of them guys, like, yeah, they most likely somebody's gonna try to test them. And yeah, they just gonna be out there flipping cars. It's gonna probably be in a matter of time. Well, Braun Strowman, he ain't 7 feet tall. He does look like he up there in height. He might be 7 feet tall because he looked like he was bigger than Big Show. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyways, yeah, it'll probably be in a matter of time before we see Braun Strowman's name trending on Friday. You know, like, there ain't no SmackDown. SmackDown don't come on Fridays. Monday Night Raw don't come on Fridays. There ain't no wrestling shows coming on Fridays. And you click it, and this is TMZ. All these photographers just catch this man. He ain't flipping the car. Like, he got the car over his head and he's throwing it. Like, Braun Strowman looked like the type where he feel like he got really outdo somebody. Like how he's outdoing people in wrestling. He feel like real life he has to outdo them.
Brock Lesnar is the real deal. We've seen what he can do in the UFC, and even within WWE has a presence about him. It's all too easy to envision him trying to murder some fools. Even with that though, one Kurt Angle still whooped his ass. Lesnar is and was a genuinely gifted amateur wrestler, but when word got around to Angle, who in addition to being one of the WWE's top hands at the time was also an Olympic gold medalist, there was only one question. Who was the best? Apparently, once the ring had been set up for a show one night, Angle and Lesnar settled their differences via a traditional shoot fight for an audience of wrestlers and other people in the company. According to Kurt, the match lasted a good 12 to 15 minutes, but there was only one takedown, after which Angle, the superior mat wrestler, simply put an end to it. Despite Lesnar being around 70 pounds heavier than Angle at the time, the victory was a clean and decisive one. Kurt may recall the match being close, but considering the age difference, size difference, and height difference between the two men, it's fair to say that Angle walked away with all the bragging rights. Number 6, DDP goes to bed with a bed of biscuits. According to Mick Foley, who told this tale in his first autobiography, Mick Foley and stunning Steve Austin enjoyed ruining DDP's life in 1993. A series of jokes, ribs, and gags had Paige reeling, but weren't quite.
It's like that photo that they just showed of Stone Cold, and I'm like, okay, I could kind of see it, but like that other photo, I'm like, dang, I really just that's definitely a young Stone Cold.
Crack him entirely. Hiding most of the hotel room towels nearly got to Dallas, but he let his positive approach win out and he let it go. After completing an elaborate bedtime ritual, the master of the diamond cutter retired for the night, unaware that the pair of pranksters had one more gag up their sleeves. A fan had given them some chocolate chip cookies, and rather than eat them, Mick and Steve took 35 of them and put them between the sheets of DDP's bed. While he no-sold it at first, it didn't take long before he audibly cried, "Someone's put cookies in my bed," as he demanded to find out who did it. The answer was obvious, mostly because Foley was laughing like a child in school. This enraged Dallas even more as he jumped on the future Mankind and tried to grind cookies into his skin. Remember, throughout all of this, DDP was naked. What a lovely evening. Number 5, the Iron Sheik gets busted.
Like, yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I ain't gonna be mad at somebody over something like that. I don't care what I like. Yeah, I don't know. I can't be mad at somebody if they put cookies in my bed. I'm just like, out of all the pranks you guys could have did, really, like cookies in my bed and stuff like that's. Like, then whoever is doing the cleaning service thing, they just gonna have to clean that up. So really, you pranking them, you ain't pranking me. I'm like, yeah, that ain't, like, I thought it was gonna go some along the lines like some X-Lax was gonna be putting them and they were gonna give it to him or something. Then next thing you know, this man running all over the place like, I need the bathroom and stuff, so.
Today we all know that two wrestlers feuding doesn't mean they hate each other in real life. In fact, the best matches and rivalries often occur between close friends. This was not the case in 1987 at all. Back in those days, heels and baby faces were kept separate from one another, even traveling on different buses. If a wrestler turned on his tag team partner, for example, it meant traveling separately and possibly even staying in separate hotels. Even when Vince McMahon started taking the industry in a more kid-friendly direction, the wrestlers kept on doing this because that's just how they were brought up. As far as WWE personnel were concerned, everything that happened in the ring was happening for real, and it was important to keep that illusion alive. So you can imagine how surprising it was when American Patriot Hacksaw Jim Duggan was pulled over whilst riding with his bitter adversary, the US-hating Iron Sheik. To make matters worse, they were both high as kites. Police discovered a vast stash of heroin, coke, marijuana and beer in the car, ending with both guys being arrested, as well as plenty of questions as to why they were doing this together. Once the story got out, there was a lot of explaining to do, and now we know it was just another chip in kayfabe's log-standing armor. Number 4, Dr. Gerry Graham.
That's crazy. I mean, it's like, yeah, there's that wrestler I was telling you guys about, the one, the crazy dude that was stabbing folks and doing cocaine and things. I think he was saying, like, in that video, he was just like, oh, yeah, everybody was back there sniffing lines and things. And so I was like, dang. Then he was, I think they said he was wrestling with some like big names and stuff, but I don't know. I'm trying to think. I can't even think of dude's name. Most likely somebody will comment his name below. But yeah, that's some of these wrestlers, man. And it's like, that's why I'm like, I wish that like that wellness program had always been. It seemed like, cause yeah, they didn't do that program thing until freaking Chris Benoit and that whole situation and things. But Yeah, it's like they should have been doing that wellness program all the way back then.
His dead mother. Gerry Graham, a well-known...
Whoa, what?
Number 4, Dr. Gerry Graham kidnaps his dead mother. Gerry Graham, a well-known lunatic within wrestling circles, was always a handful. In fact, so legendary were his antics that Terry Funk even dedicated a whole chapter of his autobiography to
Terry Funk.
Nothing
Dang, I haven't heard that guy in a while.
As what he did in 1969. Gerry's mother Mary had been admitted to hospital, so Graham, who suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder due to his time spent in World War II followed by alcoholism, made a threatening phone call to her doctor in an attempt to persuade him to keep her alive. I'm not sure that's how it works. After she passed on, a grief-stricken Graham decided to make good on his threats and armed himself with a sawn-off shotgun and a hunting knife. Accompanied by his 12-year-old son, he went and picked up his mother's dead body from a gurney and attempted to take her home with him. Amazingly, he was able to fight hospital security one-handed and emerge from the building with the body before heading to his car and exhaustedly dropping it onto the hood. Police arrived at the scene, but was of course, so Graham decided he'd take them on as well. Although he was physically and emotionally exhausted, Gerry was still able to fight off several cops until one of them damn near split his head open with a nightstick. No,
dang.
I don't know either. Number 3.
That is crazy. Wow. That is seriously crazy. Yeah, I definitely, somebody told me that. I don't know, like, you wouldn't believe it until you actually read about it and stuff, but dang, that is crazy. Like, that is somebody, like, that's, man, like, not trying to compare it, but that kind of sounds similar to the whole, like Bates Motel, like that whole like Norman Bates and Norma Bates, like that sounds like something like that. Like I'm like not trying, because the thing is, I can like understand, like, you know, you lose somebody, then yeah, it's just like you want to see them again, like, you know, you want to be able to like hug them and talk to them and all of that stuff like again, and that didn't dawn to him, but it's like, yeah, that's, you know, it's sad that stuff like that, it happens to people and things, but dang, man, that's crazy.
When it comes to backstage ribbing, Owen Hart will always be considered the undisputed champion. Story of Owen's relentless pranks are legendary, but it's the tales of his notorious phone calls that are best. In his first autobiography, Mick Foley described Owen phoning him and pretending to be the manager of the hotel they were staying in, demanding extra money for the room before calling wrestling fake. Because he edged slowly into these calls and adopted utterly convincing fake accents, Hart was able to drive people completely crazy before they realized who it was on the other end of the phone. It got so intense, not even Owen's family was safe from his constant ribbing, including his own dad. Stu Hart one year had gone with his sons to a WrestleMania and was relaxing in his hotel room with Brett when the phone rang. Apparently it was Reg Park, a former bodybuilder and pro wrestler who was also known for designing championship belts. Reg and Stu had been good friends for years, so the conversation was easy and informal. However, after a fairly long chat, Reg suddenly became argumentative, stated that Hart never had the balls to face him in a real fight, and that he wanted to face him then and there in the lobby of the hotel. According to the hitman, Stu was furious, insisting that Park could have tried him at any time, and that he was still welcome to do so. Finally, after really blowing his peak, Stu slammed the phone down, sat on the bed and dejectedly said, "It was Owen. The little bastard got me." What a hero. Number 2, Harley Race versus Hell's Angels. Harley Race was one tough SOB. From an early age, he was extremely good at fighting, which made sense that he took on a gimmick where he challenged audience members for money, regardless of their size, strength, or experience in the ring, and he never lost. Harley was also a great heel, as he was stabbed, shot at, and attacked by outraged fans throughout his career. In the early 1980s, for example, when Race was one of wrestling's biggest stars, a group of Hell's Angels bikers began heckling him in the hopes of starting a ruckus. Picking the biggest of these hecklers, Race warned the man that he'd get hurt if he got in the ring, but the biker was adamant, so Harley dutifully took him apart. According to the man himself, he flung his head full force at his now enemy and cracked his nose with his forehead. Race then cross-faced him into a version of a sleeper hold so his buddies could watch him pass out. Everyone thought Harley had killed the man, even though he was just unconscious. In short, don't mess with the kid.
That is
Number
crazy.
1, Daniel Bryan destroys a burglar. Daniel Bryan...
I think I heard about something like that. I think I might have heard about something like that. I heard something along those lines. I can't really remember, but I felt like that this was like brought up at some point in time in my life.
Your ass and this proves it. Despite recovering from serious neck surgery at the time, the former WWE champion successfully apprehended a burglar, helping to put a stop to a series of local robberies in the process. Returning home with his wife Brie Bella, the injured Bryan unknowingly interrupted the robbery. Once he realized what was going on, he chased down a fleeing man and choked him out. Bryan would tell reporters that unfortunately this guy wasn't in very good shape, so it didn't take much, and also joked that his on-screen rival Triple H may have been behind the whole thing. More than anything, the couple's main concern was for the safety of their dog Josie, who of course joined them at the conference. So there's another moral for you too, and it's very much the same as what we've already said. Don't f*** Daniel Bryan.
That's crazy. But yeah, dang, there was them two wrestlers. They were. I remember that guy. That freaking this guy here. That wrestler. I remember he beat Undertaker. That's why I remember him. It's like Vladimir something. Like Kozlov? No, it wasn't Kozlov. It could have been, but I'm like, nah, I just remember his first name being Vladimir. But anyways, yeah, man, dang, some of these wrestlers is crazy nowadays. Like, or before, I mean, dang, they had pranks and then beatings and getting shot and fighting fans and just flipping cars. Like, this so much, man. But dang, I guess I can, yeah, it's like, that's what they had to do, then that's what they had to do at the time. But I mean, dang, they're just going crazy out there, man. But anyways, hey, that's, the guys, they could do that wrestling stuff for so long until that one time when somebody tries them, and that's when they're like, all right, well, y'all want to see a wrestler, then here you go, and things. They ain't doing, because it's like, I think that's more so is just all like why people think that these wrestlers, it's like they don't be hurting people and stuff, it's fake. When they say stuff like that, they be thinking, oh, okay, well, we can really try them in real life. We can actually get off up in their face and do stuff to them and things. And this, it's funny, in the new WWE 2K19 game, they're getting on people about like or they got on your wrestler, the one that you created, about fighting a fan. And so the thing is, it's like, yeah, if a fan attacks me, like if I was a wrestler, a fan attacks me, then I'm like, yeah, I'm choke slamming you through a table and things. Like, you attack me first, you best believe I'm gonna attack you last, all right? And it's like, yeah, like that game, they had where Triple H was getting mad at you in the video game, and in real life, if it came down to it, I'm like, really? Come on now, Triple H, if a fan attacked you, you would have fought back. Like, you ain't gonna just stand there and just be all like, oh, you're hitting me, stop it. Please, like, no, you kicking him, folding his arms, jumping, and you pedigreeing him into, like, you ain't gonna just let somebody attack you. So that's why you have wrestlers out there flipping cars, headbutting people, and yeah, all that other stuff. So anyways, make sure you guys go subscribe to What Culture Wrestling for more videos like this. Like, subscribe to me too, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.